So you just have to say okay that you know you're being recorded.
Okay.
Okay.
And live I'll turn on live transcript.
I see you eating in there.
Hi, Yvonne.
Hi. I made it.
Morning, Yvonne.
Morning, Yvonne.
Hi. Good to be here.
Hi there, Yvonne.
Hi.
Hey, you ready, Charlie?
I'm ready to go. Is
Go.
everybody ready?
Yeah.
We've lost Martin.
He'll be back.
He'll come. He'll be back. Well, good morning, swappers and future swappers. My name is Charlie Nichols, and I'm your host for this amazing meeting today. Thank you all for being here. We really do appreciate it. Now, for any new guests that might be here today, I'll quickly go through the agenda for you so there'll be no surprises. We always start our meetings with our swap grace. Then we acknowledge our member countries. Then we hear the swap creed. Next comes apologies, and we have a truckload of them this.
Oh dear. He'll be back in a second.
Has he lost himself?
Come on, Charlie.
Oh,
Good morning, Fiona.
Who's doing the creed today?
Charlie.
Oh, the grace, I mean. Want to step in, Greg?
No.
Step on up.
Who knows the grace? Don't all answer at once.
I was going to say I would if I knew it. I don't.
Yes, I didn't have anything handy, which would have been a good idea.
Yeah, true.
Looks like Charlie's gone. He'll come back in. The joys of internet sessions.
There he is.
Well, I'm happy to do an impromptu grace, and I'm also doing the I'm alive, I'm well, I feel great. But
Well, it looks like Charlie's back again.
I'm back again.
Oh,
Sorry
no.
about that. We then have what we call the wins of the week. So you have something to brag about. Get ready to share that. After our 5-minute speaker, we have a couple of minutes of housekeeping from our entertainment director and then our membership director. That will lead us into the main event when our speaker seeker introduces our keynote speaker. So buckle up and hang on to your hats and let the games begin. Now, to deliver our swap grace, I wanted to call on Anne Stuckey, but I'm not quite sure she's here this morning. Are you there, Anne?
No.
Haven't seen
All right,
him.
well, I'll have to do the grace then. Dear Lord, we thank you for the food and this opportunity to fellowship, and ask you to bless this meeting, the swap meeting, and all swap gatherings around the world. Amen.
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 I would also like to acknowledge the flags and anthems of our member countries, the Australian flag and its anthem, the New Zealand flag, the Canadian flag, the USA flag, the Laos flag, the anthem from the Philippines. We have Denise Moser representing Fiji, and we have a couple of swappers holidaying in Bali. So we're all over the world at the moment.
woohoo.
Our next tradition is for all to recite the swap creed. And the swap creed this morning will be led by Alex Eason from New Zealand. Are you there, Alex?
I am. Can you hear me?
Excellent.
Yep.
Take it
Wow.
away.
Cool.
The swap creed. I do hereby promise and pledge that from today onwards, I will continually strive and think in a positive manner and have positive thoughts with regards to my profession and the life I am living. I realize the importance of the right attitude and make this pledge as I am aware of the truth in the law stating, as a person thinks in their heart, so shall they be.
Excellent.
Amen.
Thank you, Alex. Appreciate that. Next, now you have to bear with me here. As I said, we have had a truckload of apologies, so I'll just quickly go through our apologies. We have Diane Vecchiet, Judy Cartwright, Judy Vincent, Max Hitchens, Sue Henry, Roger Bull, Gillian Heckler, Leslie Wagner, Susan Sayers Phillips, Bill Boyle, Margaret Ash, Myrna Woodland, Pat Armitstead, Nikki Meldrum Holden, Rod Harry, Catherine Palin Brinkworth, who is in the Philippines at the moment with our Philippines reps, Denzo Moore, Marion Beer, Alan Peace, he's on the school run this morning, Luke Manakaris, Stanley Smith, Jurgen Schmetchel, and Judith Aitken. So they've all put in their apologies, but that's a whole meeting's worth of people. And please, everybody, please help me welcome our very special guest speaker this morning, Fiona Redding. Morning.
Yay.
Fiona. Thank you. We also welcome our past dignitaries or past office holders, our past national presidents or vice national presidents, past state presidents, life members, fellow of SWAP, past club presidents, past members of national or club committee members, and also, of course, welcome to all our members. Now, we have guests this morning, so would you like to introduce your guests? And our first one I'll call on is Rhonda.
Yes, I'd like to welcome my guest, Nari Caulfield, who is a friend of mine in Brisbane. And Nari was my supervisor for some years when I had a real job at Education Queensland, and we continued. She was so good, we continued to be friends afterwards.
Excellent. Welcome,
Welcome, Nari.
Welcome. Do we have any other guests this morning? No? Everybody's with us? Excellent. So to introduce us to, get ready, Nari. I'm
Yes.
alive and well, and I feel great. I'm going to call upon Ann Carlson.
Yes. And maybe we go with all the, so it's alive, I'm well, I feel great. 3 times, increasing in volume and enthusiasm each time, okay? I'm alive, I'm well.
I'm well.
I feel
great.
Well,
Wow.
I feel
great.
Well, we got rid of, that was good. Now,
That's the most together it's ever been.
I think so,
Find
yeah,
with
we're
everybody coming in from different places and different
Yeah.
broadbands, it usually is a bit all over the place. I think we just have to keep going and it comes out
Yep.
well.
well, now is the moment a lot of you have been waiting for, and that's the thought of the day. Now, our thought of the day, Judge. So all bribes go to Harry K. And,
Harry
and,
this morning.
Harry's our thoughts judge this morning.
Harry.
And I'll kick it off this morning. My name is Charlie Nichols, and I'm the co-host of the Lake House, which is a boutique homestay 35 kilometres from Vientiane, which is the capital of Laos. I'm also a volunteer English teacher at Pasikam School, where I have 6 classes of about 150 students. So if you meet a student from Laos and they speak with an Aussie accent, chances are that they're one of my students. In my spare time, I'm the chief invigilator for the IELTS program here in Laos, which is a scholarship program. Now, for my winning, did you hear that, Harry? For my winning thought of the day, because I've got 10 kids, raising kids is a walk in the park, Jurassic Park. All right, so the next one on the list is Rhonda. Rhonda, take it away.
Rhonda.
Okay, I am Rhonda Battery, and I still run 2 part-time businesses, although I'm semi-retired, and my businesses involved selling and teaching people how to use astrology software, and the other fork of that is nutritional supplements, glyconutrients, to keep us in good shape, good fitness, and shape. You keep your face to the sunshine and you cannot see the shadow.
Excellent. Thank you, Rhonda. I'll call upon Patty now. Patty Sweeney.
Okay, I got mine here all lined up. Patty Sweeney, I have a carpet cleaning company with 6 of our own vans and about 30 franchise vans around Australia and New Zealand. This last weekend, we just had our conference with Kiwi franchise partners, our contractors, our Australian people, and we had the amazing Ian Harvey as one of our guest speakers. Thoroughly riveting, and it was very, very good. Okay, so my thought for the day, which I had here, love people and use stuff. Sadly, some of us use people, and love stuff.
Yes, that's so true. Thank you.
So
Thank
true,
you,
yeah.
Patty. What about our speaker seeker, Martin Kennedy? Are you there, Martin?
So I
Are you
am.
back? Good. Go for it, mate.
I'm pleased to say that I'm alive still, and that's still it's pretty good. It's a pretty good idea. So I'm working on that and making good progress. My thought for the day is you always pass failure on the way to success.
Yes, it's so true. Thank you. Thank you, Martin. Our Vice President and Membership Secretary, Greg Eldred.
Good morning, all. Greg Eldred from the Executive Group down here in freezing cold Melbourne. My thought for the day is the only place you will find that success comes before work, Charlie, is in the dictionary.
This is so true, and I have a loud dictionary as well. It's the same there. Now, who's there? Neri, are you there?
No,
We're going to throw you into the deep end.
right. Well, I'm certainly alive and fit and healthy. I'm retired from Education Queensland, as Rhonda mentioned, and it's lovely to join you for this morning. You got me on the hop with a saying, but I think I would stay healthy and happy as much as you can.
Absolutely.
Excellent, thank you. Lauren Clark, are you with us? It doesn't look like it to me. I think maybe you've slept in. What about Harry Kay? Come on, Harry.
Yes.
Come on, Harry.
Even though you're the thoughts judge, let's get yours out of the way.
Absolutely. So I had two that I liked. So I'm going to go with gut feel. I have a very good friend in Canada, and her saying for the day is, don't let the noise of other people's opinions affect your opinions.
Very good.
Very good.
Yes.
Not a winning one, but a good one.
Next is Anne Carlson.
Yes, hi, I'm Ann Carlson in beautiful Woodland Park, Colorado. I'm looking out right now on Pikes Peak, which is a 14,000-foot top of a mountain, and I have no idea how many actual meters that is, but somewhere, I don't know, 5,000 or something like that. But anyway, my thought, and I'm a growth coach to single women in the second half of their life to really maximize this time. And my thought is, don't be pushed around by the fears in your mind, be led by the dreams in your heart.
Oh, very good.
Thank you, Anne. Who will I call on now? Yvonne Collier.
Hi, so Yvonne Collier, Sydney, Australia, Madison Training. So I train all the soft skills, and nothing succeeds like success.
Yes,
Very true.
So true. Alex Eason, please.
Hi, I'm Alex in Christchurch,
Hey, everybody.
and I've been dabbling lately in the cryptocurrency world, and what a mucky world that is. For years I've dealt with insolvencies and receiverships and things like that. And that was pretty clean kind of work. My thought for the day goes back to Charlie, is saying it right at the beginning about kids. Babies always reach for something that's just beyond them.
Very deep.
Thought-provoking.
I like that. Sticking with our New Zealand theme, Richard G, please.
Okay, thanks, Charlie. So Richard G, I'm based in Auckland in New Zealand, and I help people increase their sales and do a lot of work from there. But my thought for the day is do something better than yesterday. If you think about the power of that very simple phrase, just do one more task today better than yesterday.
Very good.
Excellent. Thanks, Richard. Brian's not here, I don't think. No, I think Brian. Lorna Bender. Come on, Lorna.
Okay, so I'm retired and I do business development now, but I came from the high tech world where I ran international for companies. And now I do business development in Laos with Charlie. That's what I have fun doing. And one of my favorite sayings is from a novice monk that studies. They all study so much. And his saying is never stop learning because life never stops teaching.
Oh, I kind of like that one. Thank
Mm.
you. Anne Stuckey, you're still not here yet? No, Anne? No, all right then. We had Martin Kennedy, haven't we? Sylvia,
Yes.
our entertainment director.
Good morning, everybody. I'm the creator of the Brisbane Artisan Expo and pleased to say that we've secured a venue for November this year later on. And my thought of the day is always remember you were braver than you believe, stronger than you seem, smarter than you think, and loved more than you'll know.
Excellent, thank you. Judy Ward.
Yes, good morning, everybody, from a beautiful sunny day, if somewhat cold, in Sydney. Lovely to see all your handsome faces and beautiful faces. My thought for the day is a good life is a surprising life. A surprising life is one with few expectations, and that's from James Clear.
Wow.
Excellent, thank you, Judy. What have we got now? Oh, Susan Cutford.
Okay, well, I've got my little companion here, my little fur baby, who you probably heard barking before. Okay, so my thought, so I'm Susan from New Zealand, originally, now living in Phoenix. My thought of the day is act as if what you do makes a difference. It does.
Thanks, Susan. Where are we now? Ian Harvey, please.
Good morning, folks. My name is Ian Harvey. I'm past national president of SWAP in Australia, and I currently work with my wife in real estate on the Gold Coast, and that picture behind me is our garden. So if you're thinking of coming to the Christmas in July, this is a foretaste of what you'll get. Are we doing wins of the week at the moment, or
We will in a moment.
Okay, so my thought of the day is a while ago I decided to eat only natural foods until I found out that most people die of natural causes.
So true. So true. Jeremy Britton, please.
Thanks, Charlie. Jeremy Britton from Boston Trading Company, the world's first crypto mutual fund, and we just listed on Morningstar, which is kind of fun. Currently in Brisbane, but I've lived everywhere, New South Wales and Sunshine Coast and Bali and a few other places. And I went to bed last night going, oh my God, I've got to come up with a thought of the day. I'll have to get up early and Google one and just cheat. And then 4:40 this morning, I woke up, sat up because I had an original thought. I thought, I've got to write this down on my phone so I remember it for the morning's meeting. So 4:40 this morning, I wrote down, forget who you loaned to, but remember who you learned from.
Ooh, very good. Thank you. Well, now, Reneen Bowman Harvey.
Hi, folks. Great to be here. But I always say at my age, it's just great to be anywhere. We have Landmark Sales property group on the Gold Coast, and we sell homes. In the northern end of the Gold Coast, mainly Arundel, and we're Agency of the Year for the third time in a row. So we're very excited, and the market's amazing here. So my thought of the day is nobody is defeated until they start blaming someone else.
Oh, another deep thought this morning. Now, what about you, Fiona? Have you got a thought for us this morning, or do you want to hold on to them for your?
No, I've always got thoughts. No, I think I just wanted to say this is an absolute privilege to be here. It's just lovely. Like what a lovely group of people you are, and what a wonderful mission and everything that you have. It's really actually very special to be here. So thank you very much for inviting me.
Thank you.
Thank you for finding me. So my thought of the day is actually one of my beliefs. Happiness is to be found in the overcoming of obstacles and challenges in our lives, not in the absence of them.
Very good.
That
Thank
might
you.
be a winning one, Charlie.
That could be. Peter Sun, you're not here this morning? No? Harvey Michael, you're not here this morning? Well, I think we've gone through all the thoughts of the day. You got 2 minutes to get yourself a cup of coffee while the thought judge deliberates. What's that word again? Deliberates. That's the word I'm looking for. And then when we come back, we'll start with wins of the week. All right. So have a 2-minute break, and then we'll be back. I'll call you back in order in 2 minutes.
Good man.
Get yourself a cuppa.
Done that. I've had my cuppa.
Yeah, I did, but it's gone cold.
I can't find your post of our video, Charlie.
No, I haven't posted it yet.
Oh.
Today's Tuesday. I'm going to be posting them every Tuesday.
Right. Well, I'm reading your messages, and you posted it yesterday.
Yeah, I posted it on our iMessage, and I posted it twice, and twice it disappeared. So I'm not quite sure what's going on. I'll have another look this morning.
So it's not me going senile.
No, you're not going senile.
That's besides the point, mate.
That's a future tense.
You people are so cruel to me.
Let's talk past tense, will we?
So cruel. So cruel.
Lorna, what are you doing in Sydney?
I'm seeing relatives that are in Bondi Junction and then Newcastle, and then I'm going to Byron's Bay.
Oh, you'll love
I just
them.
came from Fiji, which was incredible. I love Fiji.
Yeah,
I love it. So, and I'm going home in a couple of weeks, but I really wanted to come to Melbourne because there's so many people I would love to see, but
yeah,
next time.
Well, it's actually, there's more people on the Gold Coast that you know from the swap convention that we had in Laos than there is in Melbourne. If you go to Melbourne, you're only going to talk to Greg and Martin.
Easy.
I know. Well, I wanted to catch them.
Easy.
But no, I'll get to Brisbane next time too. It's just funny. We're here a month, but it's so fast. And we're here for Vivid too. It's so beautiful to be at Vivid at night. I mean, Sydney's my favorite. It's an incredible city. It's beautiful. I'm very happy to be here. Beautiful. And to see you guys. That's why I joined, even though I can't go there. But
so what did you say you were doing for Charlie in Lao, business development?
We just caused trouble.
Well, that's why I've asked the question. It sounded very strange. Business development with Charlie Nichols. I got
Partners
worried
in
when I heard
crime.
that.
No, we just do stuff to help. He does a lot in Vientiane, and I have kids in Vientiane in college, and then I
thought you were going to say he does. I thought you were going to say he does a lot of talking.
No, we have a good time. We do a lot of projects, and I do my own projects. He does his, and then we cruise around Vientiane and do what we can to help some of the people in need. It's fun.
Right.
We have a good
All
time.
right, folks. It's time to all come back together. Is Harry with us? Where are you, Harry?
I'm
Harry,
here.
yeah,
Oh my
you've
gosh.
had plenty of time.
I did.
I know that the first thought of the day was probably the best, and you had to listen to the rest. But anyway,
Sure.
I'm going to hand it over to you now.
It was a burden, of course. After the first one, I mean, where do I go? Look, I actually put hearts on 3 of them and stars on a couple as well that I liked, and I kind of think today's thoughts were on love and progressing forward and jumping around, having fun in life. But the one that really stood out, I liked Martin's. I liked Richard was interesting, and then I put a heart next to Lorna, but
They didn't win.
No, it was a top 3. I could give 3, excuse me. But I think today, the one that really pushed me over the edge and I liked it was Anne Carlson.
Very good. Excellent. Anne, could you please repeat your thought?
I would be delighted to. Don't be pushed around by the fears in your mind. Be led by the dreams in your heart.
Yeah.
Excellent. Let's give her a clap. Thank you.
Thank you, Harry.
Hey, winner, chicken dinner. Now, talking about winner, chicken dinner, we're going to have a minimum of 3 wins of the week. And I presume Ian might be the first one that can kick us off. What's your win of the week, Ian?
Yeah, thank you very much. Two things actually, and Paddy already mentioned it. I had the opportunity to present a behavioural analysis presentation to his Stonebusters conference on the weekend. It was so good to be able to dust off some old material and get rid of a few books that I had in the place. So that was good. But the second win, which highlights that old adage, "There's no fool like an old fool." I actually survived a fall off a rubbish bin, a wheelie bin, when I fell into a wheelbarrow when I was trying to get a frisbee off the roof because I didn't have a ladder at home. So, and as I'm going down, my head's about to hit the concrete. I'm thinking, I wonder if this is it, but it wasn't. So there I am.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad to see you're still with us.
Ian, the saving grace is as we get older, we get a bit rounder and rotundant. So you might have bounced a bit.
Yes, I think that's what it was.
Oh, thanks for that, Sylvia.
Well, I didn't say the word fat.
Well,
You did now.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah,
I know what you're
it's true.
Keep digging that hole.
Fat.
So it rings true. I'm alive, I'm well, and I feel great is a true representation.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I'm alive, I'm well, and I feel great, but I got a few scratches.
And
Well, at
Ian's in
least there's no
shape.
broken bones.
Ian's in shape, because round is a shape. Anyway.
Well, that's right.
Oh, boom, boom.
We
Anybody
should
else
learn
have
from Molly Meldrum and not go climbing
go.
in ridiculous
Absolutely.
places as we get a
Yeah.
little bit less balanced.
anybody else have a win of the week?
I do.
Yes,
I do.
please. Yes, and we'll have those two. Who's the first? Susan.
Ladies first.
Okay. So last Friday, I went for my US citizenship interview and I passed. So next week, I'm going to be doing my oath to the flag and my pledge of allegiance, and I'm going to be a US citizen.
Oh,
Wow.
Hey,
wow.
wow. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Greg Eldred. Your
Yeah,
win of the week, mate.
we had a bit of a business win this week. Coming out of the COVID scenario, really belted our business around, and we had to transition into the very quickly into the solution space. But we picked up a new vendor agreement out of the US, which gives us a unique product to move forward with in the Australian marketplace. So it was a good win for last week.
Nice.
Excellent, Greg. I'd just like to finish with a win of the week for myself. Oh, not actually a win of the week for me. It's a win of the week for one of my daughters, Serena, was just named in the Australian squad for the Commonwealth Games in Edinburgh. She leaves on the 10th of July in lawn bowls. She's in the disability squad, and her husband is going to be doing all the babysitting, and he won gold in the Commonwealth Games at the last Commonwealth Games. So
really?
Serena's going over there, hopefully, to emulate her husband and come back with the gold. As a matter of, I don't want to brag, but over the weekend, she was in the Australian squad playing New Zealand, and they actually beat New Zealand. But they weren't really celebrating because they're used to it. But anyway.
Lovely.
Now, talking about New Zealand, as an old mate of mine, Richard G, is our first speaker this morning. I've known Richard for about 30 years through the National Speakers Club and, of course, through SWAP. So I'll let Richard have the stage and have his time, and then we'll move on. Thank you, Richard.
Okay, well, welcome to everybody. I thought I'd share with you some thoughts about the audiences that we actually are delivering to right at the moment. And do you actually realize how incredibly competent the people are that we're with? When you start thinking about, we have lived through black and white TV, through to color TV, to on-demand TV, and now, of course, you call it Netflix. And you think of all of that handling of all of that change. When you start thinking about social media as such a young thing, it only started in 2005, but look at the impacts where it can even change governments right now. When you think about the ability of what used to be a simple thing called a cell phone, it's now a smart device. that controls everything, and you can do so many things with it. When you think about it, it's more than calls, it's more than video, it's about all of these other things that you do with the device that you actually have to have with you at all the time, just in case. When you think about what have we learned from all of the lockdowns around the world, we've learned that there is a different way of working. You can work from home, you can work from offices, you can work mobile, you can do Zoom calls. We've learned a whole different way, and we've learned to handle all of the different options. We've learned about the impact of lack of tourism. All of a sudden, because of lockdowns, tourism disappeared. And now we're starting to open the gates again, and tourism will start building back up. But it's a different kind of tourism. People are looking more for different kinds of experiences. If you have a look at what we have also learned in the last 10 years is the online business model. Online has totally changed, re-engineered the way so many of us do business. That little word re-engineering slipped into our culture. And in re-engineering, we have changed the way we do things, mostly for the better, but certainly to do it differently. And when you start thinking about when we talk to different groups and we talk to different audiences and conferences and things like that, let's recognize that the audience has already been through all of these things, and they've already experienced so much re-engineering change. Just think about what can actually really be achieved. So there's my main thought, and I thought you might like to share with that. I'm going to finish with one last thing for you to take away, called the power of two. Have a think about how many hands you got, how many feet you got, how many eyes you've got, how many ears you've got. And it all boils down to you have a multiple of two. Now take that two and then put it into your daily life, where you have a choice of one thing to say yes to, one thing to say no to. And when you boil down every challenge that you have, every problem that you come across, you only have one choice, either say yes or say no. So there's some thoughts for today from Richard G. Thanks, guys.
Excellent. Thank you, Richard. Thank you. That was very, very good. When you look back, I can remember when I was 14 thinking to myself, gee whiz, I live in exciting times. But things have certainly changed in the last 50 odd years, or maybe nearly 60 years now. Aye. All right, folks, we just got a little bit of housekeeping to get through, and then we're going to have our main speaker. We'll start with Sylvia. Sylvia, our entertainment director. Would you like to give us a quick update on our Christmas in July?
Yes, it's going very well. The numbers are climbing. We're nearly at our peak. We're hoping to have 35 attend. I'm sure that's going to happen, actually. And the menu is just amazing. What else can I tell you? Everyone that's coming is quite excited about coming. So it's going to be a wonderful experience.
How many spots are left, Syl?
Well, I haven't got an update from Rhonda at this stage, so but that's okay. The people that have acknowledged that they're coming will add up to 35, so it's just a matter of them paying now.
All right, excellent.
Yep.
So we will have a standby list for just in case people want to book.
I haven't had to have that yet, Charlie, but there will be a standby list if necessary. Yeah.
Right, then. All right. Yeah. Now I'd like to call upon Mini Me, which is our Vice President, Greg Aldred.
Mini Me.
Mini Me.
I'm holding a knife.
Talk about membership.
Charlie. Mini Me at my size. Thank you, Charlie. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, membership. Our membership is for a 12-month period. It's annual. That makes sense, Charlie. So for that, you get 12 monthly virtual meetings, as we're experiencing this morning. And as Charlie improves, the meetings are improving, as you'll notice.
As I get older.
through the year, there is the occasional event. I know Charlie's planning a couple of what we call, I suppose we call them face-to-face meetings, Charlie, which will be announced through the year. We have our annual conference at the end of the year, and we're always planning an annual trip of some description. Where that may be next, I'm not too sure. You have the opportunity of becoming involved in our youth swap program. We've got some old swappers here, I'm not by age, but by tenure. And you'll recall the benefit of our youth swap program and what it delivered to the youth. So we're committed to rekindling that down the East Coast. So you get the opportunity to be involved and partake in the growth and the success of that. You've got the opportunity to engage with our business director, and that appointment is yet to be announced, but the business director will be able to assist you on business issues, whether that be as a sounding board, a mentor, assistance in doing something overseas. So that will be a benefit and an opportunity for you as well within your membership. All that is for $59.95. And the only thing we ask is that you're welcome to join the meetings, but after your third meeting, there's the expectation that you would join our illustrious group. So $59.95 for all of that, and Charlie's improving the meetings. Thank you.
Thank you, Greg. I wish I could say the same about you, but anyway,
thank you.
That's another story. We have plenty of time this morning, which is good. We're on time, so I'd like to call upon Martin Kennedy to introduce our very special guest speaker this morning.
Well, it's my pleasure to introduce Fiona Redding. She certainly has made a splash on Facebook, and that's how I found her, with the assistance of our illustrious Vice President Greg Eldred. She is hoping to shatter more myths and limitations of who you think you are, to live the life of your dreams. So she'll be very thought-provoking, and her topic is stopping self-sabotage.
Ooh, I like that. I like that. Take it
Fiona,
away,
please
Fiona.
give your attention to Fiona.
Oh, thank you. Now I've got a presentation here. Do you want me to share the presentation, or do you want me to
Just a second, Fiona, before you start, I'm going to mute everybody while you're talking.
Wonderful,
so you will need to unmute yourself.
Yeah.
I have already made, no, I didn't do it because it would have interfered with what's happening. Let me just make you presenter.
Thank you.
Fiona, there you are. There you were, and then gone.
Hiding.
There you are. Presenter. Co-host. Okay, so once I've muted everybody, you can unmute, and then you can share screen down the bottom and take it away. And I'm going to also spotlight you so that you're the one that's in the limelight. Spotlight, there you are. So
Okay,
mute everybody, and you can unmute yourself.
Okay,
Unmute yourself. Hello.
Sorry, I just need to come out to unmute myself. I couldn't do it from inside the share. So share screen.
There, you're unmuted, you're right.
Yeah, good. Yeah, no, we're good now. Sorry. So
beautiful.
My apologies. I couldn't unmute myself from sharing screen. I had to stop sharing the screen to go back out. But anyway, hello everybody. Thank you so much for joining me. And as I said before, it's a real privilege to be here. I think you're just a lovely group of people, and I can really, it's very heart-led, and that's really how I operate in business as well. So it really is very nice to be here. So this is a presentation I've done a few times, and it's like by far, like people go, oh my gosh, that thing you did on self-sabotage really spoke to me. So it's we all do it, right? Self-sabotage is something that we all do, whether we are aware of it or not. So I was just so aware of doing it myself in my own life, and I'm a coach, so working with people and just going, oh man, we just self-sabotage so much. Like we just do it so much. So the purpose of this kind of putting it together in this way was just to give an overview of really what I think the 5 key ways we self-sabotage. But of course, there's 11 million ways that we self-sabotage. But really, these for me are the 5 kind of broad categories that it comes under. So what we're going to kind of talk through today is understanding exactly where you're at, the 5 ways you may be self-sabotaging, how to identify when you are doing it. So actually try and catch yourself as you're doing it, not like 6 months down the track when you can kind of pinpoint that point where things went off the rails, what you need to do to get out of your own way, and how to know your own next steps. So just a little bit about me. So I don't know if you can see the photos here. So basically, I've got 2 beautiful little children who are now 11 and 13. I separated from their dad when they were really little. So they were 2 and 3 after I had it was like my entire life imploded. I had a really bad drinking problem. I was overweight. I was unfit. I was unhealthy. I'd been unable to get work. I'd had a very new relationship that had a very unexpected pregnancy when I was living over in the UK. I moved back to Australia in 2008 during the global financial crisis when I was 5 months pregnant, wasn't able to get work. My brother-in-law was diagnosed with a terminal cancer, which he died 4 months later. Like there was just this absolute period of time in my life from about 2008 to 2012 where the wheels very, very progressively started to fall off in my life, sort of culminating at a point in early 2013 where I had developed an extremely bad drinking problem and I had to stop drinking. And from that point of decision, I decided to start meditating and stop drinking. And then I'd been looking for work. I decided to start my own business, which I've had 4 iterations of my business. I started just as a business consultant and now moved more into coaching for small businesses. And now then it became Fit for Biz, about really helping people become fit mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually for business, which then morphed into the Happiness Hunter. So really what I do in my work is the result of the changes I created in my own life, and understanding how powerful this work is and how amazingly we can really transform our lives when we are focused on being balanced and connected within ourselves, and really applying a lot of the the beliefs that you guys talk about within Global Swap. So I am the founder of the Happiness Hunter. I am a mindset coach and business strategist. So I'm very can really think quite visionarily about things. Like I can really get the big picture of stuff. So I can help people be better in their lives and then build businesses that really support them in their lives. I've been in business since 2013, got absolutely smashed at the start of COVID. As Richard was talking about before, I had to get everything online, had this massive turnaround in my business. And now I'm looking at, so I've still got the online component, but how I bring back the face-to-face stuff, because I really love that. So events and retreats and workshops and those sorts of things. But essentially, I've kind of tried niching and tried doing things over the years, and really, I just help people become happier. So I just work with people who are looking to create change in their lives and want to become happier in whatever area of their life it is. And that was a big challenge for me to actually go, that's my niche, and that's okay. I don't have to be working with women or men or people in business or retired people or, mums or anything like that. I just work with people, and that's been really liberating and quite freeing for me. I'm an author. I've written a book called The Happiness Hunter's Guide to Meditation, because that was truly transformational for me. I've got a journal and a tracker, and I'm just about nearly finished my second book, which is called It Is Possible. And just last week, one of my wins was that I finished recording the audio version of The Happiness Hunter's Guide to Meditation. And I am intimately acquainted with the content that we are covering today. So why the Happiness Hunter? The Happiness Hunter for me really feels like my mission in life. And the deeper I kind of lean into that, the easier it's becoming. And it's still hard. I know you can all relate to this, but it feels easy and in a way effortless, even though there is effort involved. It's really focused and targeted and intentional effort. So it brings me a lot of joy and fulfillment doing the work that I do. It's about building communities for connection, support and growth, very similar to what you're doing here in Global Swap, how important actually being part of a community is and how few people actually feel part of that in their lives. And I feel really passionate about creating that space for people not to feel so isolated and alone anymore. It's about delivering practical, useful, educational and inspiring coaching programs and services. So everything I do is very metaphysically based. I study with a master, but it's really about how do we apply these more metaphysical concepts into our practical, everyday, day-to-day action. Enhancing our mindset, prioritizing our well-being and creating connection. When we are good within ourselves, everything else in our lives is better and is good, and we're showing up at our best capacity for other people in the world. Working collaboratively, innovatively and courageously with our clients and partners. So I kind of like to push the edges a lot with work that I'm doing with my clients and also with corporates and organizations that I'm working with as well, really challenging them to look at how they can provide a different level of support for their people. And creating a world where everyone understands that happiness is their birthright. Like, we deserve to be happy. Happiness is available to us, as we all know, right in this moment. How do we clear the clutter to get out of our own way to allow ourselves to experience that in this moment? So when we're talking today about self-sabotage, this shows up for all of us in different ways. And within my business, I teach a concept called life integration rather than work-life balance, like accepting that it's all our life. And there's a framework or model that I use called the 7 elements framework for life integration. But you will have come across a version of this, many times over the years. But really, when we look at our life, we've got our bigger vision. And then what does that look like in each of those different areas of our life? There will generally be, for most of us, 1 or 2 areas that are functioning quite well and possibly 1 or 2 areas that weren't. And when I began doing this work and really having to kind of sort myself out and change my life, not one area of my life was functioning properly. And I recognized that for me to be better in my life, I needed to focus on myself first. So really, I just want you to take a moment and actually just think about, all of the different areas of your life and what is the current impact of you not experiencing what you want to be experiencing in your life, or you sabotaging in your life at the moment, in your health, fitness, your well-being, in your relationships and friendships, in your finances, with your work career, with your fun and fulfillment, with actually just the vision that you might have for your life. And really just taking a moment, and we don't do this very often, to just go, actually, am I okay with this? Am I where I want to be, or am I stuck? And not just kind of glossing it over and brushing it under the carpet and not dealing with it properly, but actually going, is this okay for me? And am I okay to keep carrying on as I am, or do I want to do something different? Because often we know what we want to do, but we just don't know how to do it. So like, we know, okay, I need to be healthier. Okay. And I know I need to eat certain foods, or I need to exercise, or I need to go to bed earlier, but I'm just not able to do that. Like, there's a disconnect between what I know I want to be doing or need to be doing and actually doing it. Or, I want to, sort out my finances or renovate my house, but I'm just not able to get it done. And it's been this project that's been going on for the last 10 years and it hasn't happened yet. So that is the outcome of self-sabotage, because we've got something that we want to be doing, but we're not doing it. We're somehow self-sabotaging ourselves, or we do it and then something happens to kind of knock us off our perch. That's a self-sabotage as well, because we're not able to sustain the change. So just imagine how it feels to absolutely have absolute clarity on what you want, be taking positive action, no matter how stuck you feel right now, be able to course correct when you hit a snag. So things kind of fall over and we actually go, okay, well, there's an opportunity there for me, as, talked about in those wonderful quotes that we shared at the start of this session, about how failure is the pathway to success. We learn through failure, we learn through doing. We've got to keep picking ourselves up and moving forward when things come in, or we are challenged by other people's opinions, that we can actually, hold true to our course and keep moving forward. Feeling energized instead of overwhelmed, and creating change that lasts like it lasts. It's not just a flash in the pan, or, you know, you go on a diet, you lose weight, or whatever that version of that is. So, you know, you go on a diet, you lose weight, and then as soon as you stop being on the diet, you put that weight back on. Like the thing is not the thing. If we extrapolate that out into other areas of our life, we do it all the time. We go laser focused on something, go all in on something for a period of time, but it's not sustainable. So how do we create this new way of being in our life that is actually sustainable? Imagine how that would feel if you just kind of, everything was kind of working as it was inharmoniously as it was meant to. So Albert Einstein, I think it was said, it's always hard to know where these quotes, where they actually originally came from, but insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. And, you know, we know about this in business. We really do. I think we kind of get this concept in business, but we're not always so good at applying it to our own selves. So if we want things to change, then we need to change. Like if I want things to change, I need to change. And I have to, exactly as Richard said, yes or no. Do I want this or don't I want it? If I want it, I'm fully in. If no, I don't want it, then I'm never going to think about it again, and I'm going to let it go. And that wasn't the opportunity for me. Self-sabotage is all in your mind. Nobody else is doing it to you or for you. You're doing it all by your clever little self. So when we can kind of acknowledge that self-sabotage is all in our mind, we then have an opportunity to go, well, this is my mind. So therefore I'm in a position where I can actually choose to change my mind about things. So the first self-sabotage is a lack of clarity. So it's not being clear on your vision, goals, and priorities, or it might be a bit wishy-washy. So it's kind of, but I haven't really committed. I'm not committing to it. You know, maybe that'll happen. Like we need to be absolutely crystal clear focused, not making a decision, not allowing yourself to dream, stuck in the past and projecting the past into the future, procrastinating, and lack of motivation. So the solution to this is to get clear on your purpose and your passion. Feel it in your heart, exactly as Anne was saying. Like it's actually like, how do we get out of our head with it and really allow ourselves to feel it and to follow the calling of that? It will never let us down. And this is why the practices like meditation and journaling are so helpful, and walking and all of those things are so helpful, because they help us balance ourselves, connect, clear the clutter mentally and emotionally, become more aware of the way we think and the way our thought processes influence the way we feel, which then determines the action that we take. When we're working from our heart like that, it becomes, as that point I was saying before, it almost becomes quite effortless. So we don't get stuck and stopped because we're not stopping ourselves, because we're allowing ourselves to kind of flow forward from our heart. We need to identify our non-negotiable decision-making framework. So what we teach with this is actually how we say yes and how we say no. And this framework is built from our drivers. So the push, the things that are coming in, the things that we want to change, like the kind of the contrast in a way, our values, which is basically the way we are choosing to live our lives. And I can see from this group here, it's a very values-based group. So I would say that most people probably within this community are probably quite clear of their values, you know, and that needs to be infused into the DNA of our decision-making. Like when we know our values, it becomes quite easy to say yes or no to something, like an opportunity. You can see if it fits or not. And our vision. So if it's got to be pushing and pulling us away from where we are and where we want to be. And it's got to be done in a way that is congruent with us and is in alignment with what we stand for and what is important to us. And we need to develop our vision. So like picture that picture in your mind. What does that look like? The clearer we get on that, the easier it is to kind of draw that vision to us today in the present moment. Self-sabotage 2, no plan. So you don't know where you are now, you don't know where you want to be, you've got no idea of the steps you need to take, and you have no clearly defined plan of action. This is a self-sabotage. So if we know we're here and we want to be there, but we don't give ourselves the opportunity to kind of map out what those steps are between here and there, we are never going to get there. It's really important that we do have a plan. It doesn't need to be like, you know, that it's like this overarching plan, and then that gets worked out on a monthly basis, that gets worked out on a weekly basis and a daily basis. And for a lot of the stuff that we do, someone mentioned Atomic Habits by James Clear before. A lot of the stuff we do, honestly, is just if we can just systemize most of our daily habits and activities and schedule them, we don't actually have to think about it. That becomes the plan. And then we have the ability to put in the other bigger focus areas for ourselves around that, but we've already taken care of what needs to be taken care of, and not even have to ever think about it again. It's just in the schedule already. So the solution is understand the gaps and priorities between where you are now and where you want to be, make your plan and set your goals. So we need to just take some time to go, well, what does this look like for me and how am I going to make that happen? Self-sabotage 3, lack of consistency. I'm sure you probably will all agree with this. Consistency is the key to success. If you just can keep going at something for long enough, you're going to crack through. And this is why this is so important to have that idea of the vision and the purpose and all of that, because you're heading in the right direction. You just got to keep going. Like, I'm just going to keep going because I know I'm on the right path. It feels right to me. And the further I go along and the more I persist, I'm going to get better at what I do. I'm determined. That mindset is actually what creates success. Not taking action, being inconsistent in your action, giving up, allowing your emotions to determine your effort. Like, so how I'm feeling is going to dictate what I do or do not do today. It's like, no, I've got my plan. I'm going to work that plan no matter what. So the solution is manage your time, schedule your activity. And there's a fantastic, I actually just interviewed him on the Happiness Hunter podcast, a guy called Charlie Gilkey, and he has a time management method called, or it's a productivity method called productive flourishing. And he has this system of time blocking. And if this is something that you struggle with a little bit, I really encourage you to look him up. So it's Charlie Gilkey, productive flourishing. And he has 4 time blocks. There's a focused time block, there's a rest and recovery time block, there's an admin time block, and there's a social time block. And you put these blocks into your schedule, into your calendar, and then you map your activities across against it. So you've got your vision, you've got your goals, or you've got your plan, you've got your goals, and then you can actually then deliver those goals as an action on a daily basis. It's incredibly powerful. Very importantly, showing up and doing it, whether you feel like it or not. And recognizing that self-discipline is self-love. So sometimes, like, we do need to be aware of ourselves and how we are feeling. And sometimes we actually do need to rest. But when we are managing our time properly, we're managing our stress properly, we're managing our inputs properly, we're managing ourselves and our lives properly, we've built time in for the rest and recovery. We don't burn out because we're managing ourselves and our energy properly, consistently. And that consistent action, what they say, excellence is a habit, not a one-off action. Like, it's like that we build something within ourselves, but also in what we're creating. So creating new habits, again, could be Aristotle, could be Socrates, not quite sure. The secret of change is focusing all of your attention not on fighting the old, but on building the new. And this is something we all discovered during COVID. It was like, okay, that idea of re-engineering or pivoting or whatever is actually what we all had to do during COVID. And the people that didn't do that, the businesses that didn't do that, did not survive. So self-sabotage 4, lack of belief. Not believing it's possible, not believing you can change, not believing you've got it in you, not believing you can stick at it or that it can last, not believing you have enough time. So this is a mindset piece. So the solution is understanding the link between our thoughts and our beliefs, our emotions and our actions. It is all linked. Everything is one. Be present in the moment. So just be aware of what you're doing or not doing and catching yourself on it and checking in with yourself about that. Maybe do some journaling around that or having a talk with a trusted friend. Clean up the way you think. But to clean up the way you think, you've got to be aware of the way you're currently thinking. Working the plan, again, whether you feel like it or not, and recognizing that your identity is a self-fulfilling prophecy. So if you're constantly telling yourself that you're broke or you've never got any time or you can't make it work in business or you just can't seem to make things happen or whatever, that's what's going to happen. Whereas if you start to speak to yourself like, I am successful, what we did at the start, like today's a great day, you're going to have a great day. And the 5th sabotage is not getting help. So feeling like you should be able to do it on your own because you know everything and you can guide and advise other people through it, but you're just not able to crack that through on your own. You know what to do. We all know what to do, but we're not all doing it. Or you don't know how to do it. So you just actually, you know, you need to be doing it. You've got no idea to do it, but you might be too ashamed to ask for help because you should know better, right? So we get stuck in this terrible loop here where we should know better, know what to do, not doing it, stuck. This is one of my favorites, and I am sure you have all heard this on your sales calls, whatever you've done with people. Let me just give it one more go on my own to see how I go this time. But if we go back to that point, if nothing changes, then nothing changes. And we do what we've always done, we get what we always got. We just go around in the same circle, and we feel like we're progressing. We feel like we're taking action because we're still kind of doing something, but we're just literally turning around in circles on the same spot. And thinking help is too expensive. Again, I really know that you will all understand this, but really, like, what is the true cost to you not getting assistance for something that you're struggling with, that you keep sabotaging yourself, that you're not where you want to be on? The true cost is actually the missed opportunities. The true cost is actually the lack of success in health or business or struggles in relationship. Like, what is the true cost? Or thinking we don't have time. So the solution is getting help is a sign of strength, not weakness. It really does take courage and strength to put your hand up and say, I need help here. To me, that is when somebody comes to me and says, I need help, I just think you're awesome. Because you could just be pretending that everything is okay and look, I've got all my shit together. Nobody does. Not one person in this world has got any idea really in a way what they're doing in their lives. And that's okay. Like, that's the human experience. But if we can acknowledge and accept that, then we can change it. Reach out and ask for help from someone who can help you, because there are no prizes for doing things the hard way. Life is hard enough. Build in the accountability mechanisms to guarantee your success. And again, this is something further along this path I'm going. Consistency and accountability. If you can nail those two things, you will achieve your goals. Because if you're being accountable to yourself or somebody else to do something, you're going to do it. If you're just accountable to yourself and maybe if I feel like it, you're never going to move anywhere. And really checking in with yourself. How well has your strategy worked for you up until this point? Remember, nothing changes if nothing changes. And if you do what you've always done, you'll get what you've always got. So the next steps for you from here, you can do nothing, which nobody's ever going to do nothing. You're going to take something from this, take what you have learned and apply it. And if this is something that you are seriously struggling with and you've recognized that actually I do need to do something about that, and today is the day where I'm going to do that, get in touch with me because I can help get you moving and in whatever way, in direction that you feel you need to go. So you can message me if you would be interested in that. Otherwise, I've got a Facebook group as well. It's really good. It's called Morning Mindset and Motivation. And I do masterclasses and I've got the Happiness Hunter walks. And yeah, I feel very passionate about sharing what I know because it was so transformational and life-changing for me that I feel like I have a bit of a duty to share that. So I've had this wonderful experience over the years of how do I, and very similar kind of, I think, philosophical viewpoint that you have here at Global Swap is like, how do I really build an incredibly purposeful, useful business that is also a very profitable business and creates opportunities both for me, for my family, and for the broader community. It's a wonderful way, I think, to approach being in business. Anyway, here's a little another little quote for you for today. I believe it is possible, even if right now I can't see how. So my details are there if you would like to get in touch with me as well. So I'm going to stop sharing the screen now and come back into the room.
Okay. Charlie, you're muted.
Forgot about being muted. I'd like to, I thought the only person who likes to mute me is Greg, but anyway. I'd like to call upon Lorna Bender to show our thanks. Thanks, Lorna.
I guess I'm giving my thoughts, but this was awesome. And I love your title, Happiness Hunter. I think everybody has stuff in their life. And if we think that we're immune, we're full of shit. You know, everybody has something, whether it's career, family, life, you overcoming the alcoholism. That reminds me of the serenity prayer. Just, you know, God grant me the courage to know, and the wisdom to know the difference. And once you start to know the difference, everything you said resonated. And mindfulness on a daily daily practices, mindfulness, and own it, like accountability, own your stuff, because you can't play victim, and only you, it starts with you. And that's the meditation. If you start changing how you react to things and how you feel, it affects everyone in your orbit, and I went through a lot of hard times, and I had a counselor that transformed me, because I failed all the time in work. Well, I didn't fail. The startups failed, but I still like going in, and if you don't try, you fail or you succeed, move on, get up and keep going. So you can't sit and cry and wallow in self-pity. So I love very much what you're saying, because, get up, when you fall down, just get up and keep going. And it's life, and it's going to be our whole life. And just finding, and moderation too. I think just being moderate about everything, because type A people tend to be pretty either manic or achievement oriented, like some of us, but then you have to let it be. Let it be, and be in the present. Can't always look back, look forward with faith and trust, but be here now. Every day is a treasure, and we're in the wisdom stage, I think, of our life now. So what you're doing, coaching people, they need to know how to get to that, achieving freedom, wisdom, clarity in your mind. And it's a process, but it's a great journey. I think transforming yourself is a fantastic journey if you embrace it. So I really enjoyed it. Thank you. And I'm going to look up your podcast and everything. So thank you. It's great.
Thank you. Thanks, Lorna.
Great.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you, Lorna. We really appreciate that. Our next meeting, our July meeting, in case you haven't been informed as yet, is National Salesperson's Day. So it's going to be a big meeting next week. And I'd like to call upon Martin. Martin, could you tell us how next month's speaker is?
Yes, our next month's speaker is Kurak Ashley.
Wow.
Again, with the help of
Harry.
Thank you. I haven't taken too many notes from Kurak, but when he tells me he does firewalking and has done lots, and actually claims he's done the most firewalks in the world, I think this guy might be worth taking notice of. Anyway, he will be talking to us on National Salesperson's Day, the first Tuesday in July. And if I could take a quick liberty, I had a big win, which I suppose almost went by unnoticed. Not that I intended to tell SWAP, but it doesn't matter. I've been working on a project for 20 years. It was a dream I have to, in actual fact, be able to schedule jazz events. And in order to do that, I had to put it on paper so I could share the vision that I had. And then all of a sudden people said, oh, wow, that looks fantastic. And then I put it in front of people, and I won't go into the details, but that would really need it. And they said, yeah, we like it. And then the next thing, they said, all right, how much? So I got a programmer to give me a quote, and there's a little bit of change out of $10,000. So these people said, yep, we'll do it. So the next thing is to get it actually programmed and available. Hopefully in time, I envisage that I would go to take this right around the world. So it's incredible to think that what you think and what you put your heart into, you can actually make happen.
Absolutely.
Excellent. Thanks, Martin,
Congratulations,
for that. Yep, we're looking forward to hearing the progress of that then. Thank you. So, everyone, please invite anyone you know that would get some benefit out of our National Salesperson's Day. If you know any sales managers or marketing managers, salespeople, or anyone who needs a positive kick up the bum, invite them to tune in. It really is going to be a ripper. So to finish the meeting, as per normal, Anne, can you please close us out with our mantra? I'm alive, I'm well, and I feel great.
Yes, I would
Let's
love to.
go.
And thank you so much, Fiona, for that. That was just so well done. And really, congratulations. And I can see where you're impacting a lot of people. Okay, so again, I'm with the right hand, I'm alive, I'm well, I feel great. 3 times going up in enthusiasm. I'm alive.
Alive,
I'm
well,
well,
I feel great. I'm alive, well,
wow,
I feel
I feel great.
alive, I feel
I feel great. Ah, excellent. Well, that's the official end of our meeting. But if you like to do a little bit of networking, so you don't have to rush off. The lines will still be open for a while yet. So take it away, whoever wants to take it away.
Good meeting, Charlie.
Thank you so much, Charlie. Bye.